anti-government protesters. The reaction to this execution was outrage and anger, and this anger had been building up for weeks. There had been plenty of calls for authorities to halt the execution. Obviously, that didn't happen. On Thursday morning, Mohsen Shakari was executed, and much of that anger by people expressed on social media throughout Thursday on platforms like Twitter and Instagram. Not much publicity on state media, though. It didn't make a lot of headlines. One state media reported the execution, simply identified Mohsen Shakari. No other information, no other details, as you mentioned. State media also airing what human rights groups describe as a forced confession of Mohsen Shakari. Who was Mohsen Shakari? He was a young man, 23 years old, caught up in the protests back in September 25th. This was the first stages of the anti-government protests. He was accused of blocking traffic with his motorcycle and attacking a besieged paramilitary force member with his knife and injuring him. It's interesting to note that this was not a fatality. The man he allegedly attacked was simply injured, not killed. Even so, for authorities, this act amounted to a charge called a crime against God. He was sentenced to death in November. He appealed the death sentence. That was upheld. The conviction was upheld, and Thursday morning he was executed. Human rights groups describe his trial as a sham, and they say there's no indication that Mohsen Shakari had access to a legitimate lawyer who could defend him properly. He is one of many protesters, dozens who face the death sentence. It'll be interesting to see, and a lot of people are anxious to see if authorities continue to execute people, and if so, who's next and what the fallout is going to be.